This segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Falls. We broke some news last night about a hostage situation here in the area. And joining us now, the police chief here in Houma, Travis Terrio. Chief, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, some pretty good work from what I'm hearing with your department on this hostage situation that was taking place. Can you give us some details on that? And I know yesterday y'all were pretty busy with that. And we all know covering hostage situations over the years, they can tax you pretty good, can't they?
Yeah, they can be both physically and mentally draining. Mm-hmm. We responded to that location. We had officers that were sent there by the Hancock County Sheriff's Office. The suspect, Mr. I believe it's Daniel D'Angelo, 41 years old. He was wanted through the Hancock, Mississippi Sheriff's Office for some domestic related charges, and he had left with his 2-year-old child. We were sent there, do a disposition check, make contact with him, take him into custody. Whenever they arrived, he barricaded himself within the home, was refusing to release the child and or come out the home and surrender to police. With that level of threat, the negotiations and SWAT team were quickly activated. We got out there, and our SWAT commander started removing the responding officers and getting our tactical officers in place. Once we had a good perimeter set up, and negotiations were started with a face-to-face negotiation from the window of the home. And as the day went on, quickly, he just wasn't responding to police officers. So we actually used a family member to communicate with him through us. And we were able to successfully get him to come out the home. He surrendered peacefully. That's all we ever want in this. But I'll tell you what, it was a really, really good level of police work that was done out there. The negotiators did great. The SWAT team did great. There was a lot of discipline on the scene. We had nothing's perfect. We can always look back and see things that we could have done better. As always, we go back and examine what we need to fix, because we often do things and it makes it difficult for us if we do the wrong thing and react wrong at some point in time. But we have to revert back to our training and quickly overcome those errors. And they went back to their training. We overcame, and it resulted in a successful release.
I can remember way back, there was a hostage situation on Good Street here in town, and we had cameras there the whole time, and it gave me a firsthand look at the amount of intensity that is involved. I can imagine with a child involved, that multiplies it so much, because officers are human as well, and they know they're out there and they got to make every right move or else it can end tragically. So there's a lot of pressure in there.
There's a lot. And whenever the suspect looks out the home and he sees a tactical team surround his home, it adds a level of stress to him. However, that's not something that we can remove from the equation, because that tactical team, especially if you're doing a face-to-face negotiation, they have to protect the public and they have to protect that negotiator that's focused. Because whenever you have a negotiator that's talking to someone, their focus really isn't on the threat at hand. They are there trying to negotiate what's going on with the person, so their focus is on what the person is saying. And so SWAT teams, it's the SWAT team's duty to protect the negotiator and the public, and they do that time in and time out, and they work well together, and that's how we end up having successful results.
And when you're looking at it, and every negotiator seems to be a little different, but as a chief, when you see your guys and gals coming up, can't you sort of tell which ones might be pretty good at doing negotiations?
Yeah, and look, and negotiations is communication, right? So you really want your good communicators. You want your ones that really act well under stressful situations. And the same thing with a SWAT team. You want the ones that can perform well under a stressful situation. You want one that's passionate for the craft, because it takes a certain person to be a SWAT operator and it takes a certain person to be a negotiator. And you can't have one without the other. They're both important.
But as I guess there's points in time in I guess the stamina of the person who is the perpetrator too comes into play. At times, I guess y'all got to gauge where there's a good chance to maybe bridge something at that point.
That's right. That's right. And you have to figure out what's the problem that they're seeing that day, because what might seem minor to me and you is major to them. Mm-hmm. And if it's major to them, then it's important to us at that time.
Yeah. Well, good work, and I'm sure your officers getting a little rest today. The ones that were out there all day.
Oh yeah. Everybody was tired. It was mentally, and like I said, it's mentally and physically draining. And whenever you have a long, drawn out, stressful situation like that, it's taxing on your department. You have to start calling people out from home to come out and start handling shifts and filling in the gaps where we had to pull people from their normal day-to-day job.
Well, Chief, we appreciate the work. Good job, and thanks to you and the Houma Police Department. Job well done, and thank y'all for keeping everybody safe.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it. The Chief of Police, Travis Terrio, on some news that we broke last night here on HTV. There you have the update from the Chief. We'll keep you posted on any developments to this story. Don't forget to always check us out on Facebook and YouTube. This segment was brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.